Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 8 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 8 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter transformations and congruence. And the lesson we're going to cover our rotation, graph the image. Rotation, find the coordinates, congruence statements and corresponding parts. Side lengths and angle measure of congruence figures and congruent triangles SSS and SAS and ASA, right? So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, here I'm on grade 8 math. The chapter is transformation and congruence. Let's just start with the lesson, that is rotation, graph the image. Graph the image F57 after a rotation to 70 degrees counterclockwise around the origin, right? Okay, so here is the point F5 and 7, right? You have to rotate the point 270-degree counterclockwise around the origin. The point will move from first quadrant to fourth quadrant. To find the exact location, imagine 0, 0 and F forming opposite corners of the box, right? So rotate the box keeping the 0, 0 corner fixed, right? So now the new point is 7 and -5, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, graph the image of n 2, -5 after a rotation of 90-degree clockwise and around the origin. Okay, so the point is n2 -5. You have to 90-degree rotation clockwise, right? Okay, hold on. Here is n2 -5, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. You have to move counterclockwise 90 degrees, right? That's so when you move counterclockwise 90-degree, option number 2 is the correct option. That is 5 and 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is graph the image of L equal L -70 after a rotation 180-degree clockwise around the origin. Here is L, right? You have to rotate 180-degree. When you rotate 180-degree, it would be from here to here, right? The second option is the correct option, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. Graph the image of P76 after a rotation of 180 degree counterclockwise around the origin. 180 degree. Okay. So no, option number 1 is not the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay, graph the image A negative 1 8 after a rotation of 180 degree clockwise around the origin. 180 degree clockwise. No, that is option number 1 because you have to move 180 degrees. So from here to here, no clock. Yes, option 1 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is graph the image of F57 after a rotation of 270 degree counterclockwise around the origin. So when you move, it will be from first to fourth quadrant. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Okay. Graph the image of M41 after a rotation 270 degree clockwise around the origin. So 270 degree it is. Clockwise, it would be in the, that is the correct option, right? You have to move from here to here. So that is the correct option. Option 2 is the correct one. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is rotations, find the coordinates. So we already know how to rotate, right? Now we just have to evaluate in the coordinates after rotation, right? So let's just start with the test questions. Okay. Point B is rotated 180 degree clockwise around the origin. What are the resulting points of what are the coordinates of the resulting point B dash? Okay. So you have to rotate 180 degree clockwise. So when you start from here, you are here, right? That would be negative 2 and option number 1 is the correct option, right? Because y is positive in this quadrant, x is negative, so that would be negative 2 and 4. Got it? A point P negative 6 negative 4 is rotated 270 degree counterclockwise around the origin. What are the coordinates of the resulting point P? It would be from here to here, right? X is negative 270 counterclockwise. Okay, I think you can hear me now. Okay, so here we are. Read the congruence statement. Triangle STR is congruent to. Yes, just look at the STR. So if you match the side, S goes match correspond X is congruent to V, T is congruent to W, and R is congruent to X. That means STR is congruent to VWX. That is option number 2. VWX it is, right? Okay, complete the congruence statement. LKJ triangle. LKJ is congruent to, okay, LKJ. That means V, T, and U. So LKJ, basically you have to match the congruent angles. L is 40, so V is 40. K is 23, T is 23. J is 117, U is 117. So LKJ match with VTU, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, complete the congruence statement. Triangle FTE is congruent to FDE is congruent to TR and S, right? So option 1 is the correct option. Complete the congruence statement. Triangle CDE, right? Just match the similar sides. C is congruent to O. D is QP, that is OQP or either OPQ, because PQ are exactly same. So that says triangle 1 is the correct, option 1 is the correct option. Triangle OPQ or either OQP. Okay. The next one is complete the congruence statement EDGF, which is the correct option. Just match the angles. E is 69, Q is 69, R is 111, R is 111. G is 69 and F is 11. So that means it is EDGF goes to QROP, because opposite angles are different. So you have two of the options. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is complete the congruous statement, which is the correct option. HIJ, that goes OPQ. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? Complete the congruence statement QRSP. QRSP. It would be WXUV, right? Then UVWX and UXWE. So that is option number 1. 2. Okay. Complete the congruence statement. FEDC. FEDC. So that would be QRST. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to the next one. And the next one is side length angle measure of congruent figures. Okay. Okay, GHIJ is congruent to NOPQ. Where is NO? What do you mean by where is NO? Okay, you have to find the side from the figure 1 that is congruent to, like you have NO. So NO is congruent to GJ, right? NO is congruent to GH, right? So the correct option is GH. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, these figures are congruent. What is DU? Okay, okay, you have to see where is DU. TU and IH are congruent, right? IH is 29 kilometers. That means TU is also 29. Just match the congruent sides, right? You will find the answer. The correct option is 29 kilometer. Triangle DEF and triangle RST are congruent. What is measure of angle E? Okay. DEF and RST. Angle E is congruent to angle S, right? So that would be 35 degree because S is 35, so E is also 35 degrees. These figures are congruent. What is LK? LK is congruent to RQ, right? So they both are equal to, so the correct option is 40 yards, right? Basic thing is you need to match the similar sides. These figures are congruent. What is angle F? If they are congruent, there all the angles are congruent, right? So angle F is congruent to angle V, and angle V is 121. That means angle F is also equal to 121. So the correct option is 121 degrees. Okay, the next one is GHIJ is congruent to NOPQ. What is NO? Which is the correct option? Okay, NO. NO is congruent to GH, right? And GH is 44 kilometer. That means NO is also 44 kilometer. Okay, let's just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is congruent triangles, side angle, side and angles. Okay, which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Okay, just look at the side, angle, side. The angle is between the two sides you can given here. If all the three sides are congruent, you can say that is side, and side, right? If two sides and angle between them is congruent, that would be side angle and side. But the angle must be the in the congruent sides. The angle must be between the congruent side in side angle side case, right? Then you have angle side and angle case, right? Two angles and the side between them are congruent, right? Okay, so both the triangles are congruent. That means their side HF is congruent to AC, GH is congruent to BC, so angle H is also congruent to angle C, right? So that would be side, angle, and side. You can see two of these sides are okay. Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? So, which is the correct option? You can see for both the triangles, all the three sides are congruent. So that would be side, and side. The correct option is option number one. Okay, why? Which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? So, which is the correct option? They are side angle and side, right? You can see two sides and an angle between them, so that would be side angle and side. Okay, which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Which is the correct option? The angle is not between the two. None of the above. These triangles cannot be proven congruent, right? Angle must be between the two. If this is the angle, then that would be side angle and side, right? Okay. Which rule explain why these triangles are congruent? Which is the correct option? These triangles are not congruent, right? Because you can see just two of the sides are congruent, no angle, no other side. So that would means this cannot be proven congruent, right? Okay, which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Which is the correct option? None of the above, right? These triangles cannot be proven congruent, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 8 math. Chapter we're working on is transformations and congruence. And the lessons we have covered today are rotations, graph the image, rotations, find the coordinates, congruent statements and corresponding parts, side length and measure of congruent figures, and congruent triangles, side, 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 and angle, side, angle. Right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself. Let me just move on to. Okay, so please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can do on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. So that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.